Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals of Week 1, Relegations Week 1 between Leftovers and Epiphany Gaming. One of those teams I expected.
No, Epiphany Bolt.
Okay, sorry. Epiphany Bolt, I'll keep getting it wrong. Epiphany Bolt. But Leftovers, one of those teams that I expected to get this far. It's a roster that, on paper, sounds very good, even they've got two names that people probably won't recognize.
I don't know, man. Badgah alone should find himself so far above the rest of the field here that this should be his game for free. It really should. I mean, the dude has played on the World Championship stage. He's been to almost every land we've ever run.
Yep.
I mean, this guy has more experience that I think the 9 other players combined.
And he stepped off that roster, picked up Cherryo to go alongside this, and he's also picked up Fails in the jungle, who's now known as Jungler.
He's Jungler. It's just his name. That's the caster's dream.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because when we talk about junglers, everyone's going to think we're talking about him.
That's fine.
Okay, let's have a look at the brackets and see exactly how they managed to get themselves here to begin with today. Leftovers beat Clown Fiesta, which was a lineup involving Tiki, Stactimus Prime, and Angry Day QQ, to name a few names you'll recognize there, as well as Pistrist early on. And Epiphany Bolt, well, we followed them through the Envo clan game as well earlier, and then before that one, we did see them against Orcs in the round of the quarterfinals, I should say. So both teams done well to get here. I feel Leftovers had the edge though, Diem.
I really feel like this is going to be quick. Badgah should be able to lead this team. Cherryo should be able to lead this team. Fails even should be able to lead this team through Epiphany Bolt in 2 games.
Let's find out what they're going to do in picks and bans then, because a few things to talk about in picks and bans. We've not seen a single Vamana.
Yeah,
I don't
even want to talk about it.
Is that so? That to me though says that we're not going to see Vamana in EU for the time being.
I don't know. Vamana is at worst right now the 5th worst best character in the game.
Let's just take it back to the Ymir of support of EU. Ymir is EU, and he doesn't really run it. It's going to be like that, I feel, with Vamana this year.
To be fair, when Vamana was in his prime, there were 2 Vamana players. It was Omega and Game Hunter. Like, it's not like the Europeans don't know that this character's ridiculous. The first pentakill in competitive Smite's history happened.
Not only Vamana, though, Kronos, another name that I've not heard said.
Well, that's not a European thing either, but considering the fact that Zyros was the first Grandmasters player playing almost exclusively Kronos.
And on top of that, you got Funballer, who played in the AD carry role for a long period of time as well. Pretty surprised.
Robin just made it through. I'm out.
Peace. GG, Leftovers win.
Why? How is it not locked in?
Congratulations, Game 1 goes to Leftovers.
How is it not locked in already?
Unless this is not
Maybe
Robin.
Badger's feeling himself on this one. Maybe he's like, we're going to even give them Robin to show.
Oh, please don't.
I mean, they shouldn't.
Please don't.
Okay, there it is.
There
okay,
we go.
We're good. We're good.
I'm pretty sure Leftovers sat there for a long time going, is this real life?
They probably
that got through?
They probably didn't even realize, like, all right, guys, what do you want here? Should we look for Athena?
I mean,
and then like 20 seconds later, oh my God, Robin's open. Like, click it.
Epiphany Bolt, they had the option and they saw this was available to them last time. They got it and they saw how dominant it was.
And the craziest part is Epiphany Bolt's build on the character was vastly incorrect.
He didn't have a great game with it. He struggled in the laning phase, but then because Raven's in the position he is right now, he still did great in the mid lane.
He was fighting 4 people and he killed 1. And almost got away.
That's like old Bellona. It's still like current Bellona, to be fair, if you can get off the abilities properly. Soul and Athena locked in response by Epiphany Bolt. That could be mid for the Soul or the duo lane. We'll see. Athena definitely probably going to be in the support. I would say definitely probably. Could be a jungle.
Athena going to be locked in as well. Sobek taken. Now this, again, has a little bit of flex. This could be solo. This could be support. Knowing Badgah, this is likely to be a support pick.
And on top of Ravana already being locked in too, I expect to see that in the solo lane. It can jungle, though, can Raven, but I don't think we'll see him there.
Leftovers definitely have the comp right now with Chiron and Ravana in the same team.
Happy days already is the call out for Leftovers.
Going
into the finals,
the
winners get the shot. Bellona in response, not a real surprise there. It's going to have the same old matchup against Raven. He's not bad against Raven in the early stages just because of Scourge.
There's only one character in the game that can handle Raven's laning phase. I guess 2. Hades can do well, although I think it's still close to even, and Vamana wins just slightly in the early game. Late game, Vamana and him are pretty much even. So to see Vamana again getting put in the back line, this time in favor of Bellona, is a little bit strange to me. Epiphany Bolt will have option out of bans here as they take away both Isis and Hun bots. Neath getting taken away, final ban for Leftovers.
I want to see a Hou-Yi ban. If they're banning Neath, I think they expect this is a Hunter. So there's a mid lane Soul, so it should be a Hou-Yi ban because Hou-Yi very, very strong right now.
Beautiful bans. Right, like you said, they don't know if this is going to be Major Hunter, so it's probably best for them just to try to attack the Hunter role.
Well, they gambled with the Neath. They did the Neath anyway, so they're gambling that this is going to be a mid lane Soul. It could switch to a duo lane now if they wanted to, but with Isis taken off the table, it looks like they are probably going to take this duo.
Fenrir going to be picked up. I'm not sure who they plan on attacking with this Fenrir.
I mean, you could get Sobek early before he can manage to get off his ultimate. You can try and pick the supports early on, especially in the current meta.
Okay.
It's around up to about 12, 14 minutes before the supports start getting tanky like they used to.
Ra's going to be picked up here. Normally not a character I think is incredibly strong, but on this comp, being able to provide yourself with healing, allowing yourself to be the subject of the ire of Epiphany Bolt while Ravana and Chiron just start laying waste, this could be a really strong pick, and that CC immunity is going to be good as well. Nasha, however, I mean, stopping Brutalize, decent damage.
Okay, take this back. We've got Fails in the jungle for this team, now known as Jungler, but we've got Cherryo in the mid lane playing this raw. One thing we saw from Cherryo when he was on London Conspiracy was the Naja Scylla combos in the mid lane.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing with Ra.
And if you're going to take a person who's going to be able to trust a jungler with Nasha, why not take a Nasha main? It was his go-to character. He knows the timings perfectly.
And on 150 ping to get those timings perfectly, we'll see if it can pay off, but I think he can do it. Medusa, final pick, which makes the duo lane very strong. Athena, Medusa, a little bit underrated right now, I want to say. I mean, a few people have realized how strong Medusa is, but with Purification being such a long cooldown, those taunts into Petrify is very strong.
My issue here is they've picked Bellona, Soul, Medusa into a comp that contains Ravana, who will build Frostbound Hammer by third item. They are guaranteed 3 people losing attack speed who rely on it, especially in the mid game, against a character who inherently builds into this item.
Well, early game, we're into the game now. You can see Badger's taken shell at the beginning of the game, going for the defensive route for the most part. There's a lot of burst damage on the side of Epiphany. Meanwhile, sprint across the way for DeathPanter here on the Athena, just to avoid the slows.
How is the name Jungler even open?
I don't know. I don't know how he managed to do that, but he did, and now he's known as Jungler.
Okay, I know this is going to seem super minor, but I just want to point out how much I think Cherryo is awesome. He just threw the raw beam and then backed. He increases his movement speed.
When he goes back to base.
Puts it on cooldown for that 5 seconds that he's in there. Then uses it again, I would imagine, as he's leaving the base to get the second stack, increasing his movement speed and ability to get back into position faster.
Some of the small things you notice is just stupid. I'm just going to say, the stupid things you notice sometimes.
Hey, it was awesome.
He used beam, went back to base for extra mobility. That is efficiency.
It's insane efficiency.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's like, that's such a
I don't think I've ever seen anyone throw a raw beam and then back.
So last game, Epiphany Bolt up against Envo. They actually did this start, and I missed it. What's actually happening here is the 3-man in the left-hand Harpies here. Then they go to the red buff as well, and manage to get the pigs on the left-hand side at the same time, it seems. It's the different option than taking these back Harpies. They get the mid Harpies instead.
Now, because of the speed at which you can take those two camps, and the fact that we get this spawn 5 seconds earlier, both should be decent. It seems to me like the top is going to have a little bit better. You'll notice the pigs were actually skipped on the bottom side. Leftovers choosing to go right to lane for the push.
Now, the one thing about this for Epiphany Bolt that's very, very useful is that their mid and jungle actually have a safer camp to clear in the early stages out those back Harpies, instead of trying to contest the mid Harpies. But the difference is Leftovers well aware of that. They're rotating to the right to take these elementals at the Fire Giant.
Why is Nika allowing Bellona to do these things? That was very curious. You'll notice also that he built Bluestone. Now, Bluestone, on paper, should do more damage. The issue is you can't actually apply the Bluestone to your opponent. If you do, you will take the ire of so many shots from the archers. It's going to be just shot after shot after shot for 3 seconds. It winds up being hundreds of damage. And early game, not even Ravana can take that kind of abuse, which is why we normally see the Bluestone not picked up. We see the death toll. So he has to be very careful. He's going to lose a lot of what the early game is strong for Ravana in favor of maybe getting some better push at level 4.
I think that's the key, is the push. He can't go for ability damage against the Bellona. He's got to be careful about his positioning here.
He needs to just kill her.
As we tune into duo lane here, Badgah going to take a little bit of poke from that taunt from DeathPanter connecting as well. The duo lane having a bit of an easier time of it, as you'd expect from Athena Medusa up against a Chiron and Sobek early.
I feel like Badger's not properly utilizing the idea that his hunter can cleanse him by throwing down that constellation. He should be getting right into the thick of things.
But if you do that, then you're going to put yourself at a disadvantage of not having that for wave clear.
Well, no, put himself in the wave clear.
Normally,
that's the worst place to be, but with Chiron, you guarantee no CC. And when you have a Sobek that far up on creeps that are dying, it's very hard as an enemy hunter to think, oh my god, I'm not going to get flung here, right? I can just be super aggressive. It puts them in a spot where they have to play more defensively. Instead, for some reason, we're seeing Medusa outpush Chiron pretty freely.
Pretty freely for now. You can see the left-hand pigs are about to spawn for them as well for Epiphany Bolt, so they're going to be soaking those ones up. We're only 2.5 minutes in. Builds, if you look on paper, they look identical as you look down the builds.
I'm surprised to not see Curse. especially early on against Ra. I really expected Axioz to come out with Curse and go for the level 12 teleport. Or maybe even have Fenrir do it. There's really not a lot of CC aside from Nasha that's going to bother him in the mid-game.
Well, left-hand side, they may try and contest these picks here as well as Fenrir is coming around with Sol. Has the call come out for them? I don't think it has. Double taunt, Purification beats Forced, but it's actually Badgah is in a wither hit. Body block to death as the Ragnarok comes up. First blood, unfortunately, goes to Athena there. I don't think they really wanted that.
I mean, at this point, getting a kill is important, especially onto Badgah. I think if you're going to get it onto everyone, it should be the person that even the casters were saying should have more experience and enough control over this map to where he shouldn't have any trouble.
Someone else with experience is Jungler on this right-hand side, coming in for the gank, gets the ultimate off before Athena can land. Athena does land now, but can she save the life of her teammate? No, the taunt does connect, but an overhead kick from Nika secures the kill.
It was beautiful. He applies the bluestone with the Prana Onslaught and then goes for that kick, that overhead kick, to not only do a little bit of damage, but avoid the taunt from Athena and apply the bluestone again. It was maximum damage and efficiency and finds a return kill, this time in favor of the leftovers.
So golden experience a little bit. Actually, surprisingly, it's in favor of leftovers right now. They're farming a little bit better, even though First Blood did go over to Epiphany Bolt here.
Bottom side, looks like Cherryo is going to find himself with another red buff. I want to see this Ra Nasha combo. Granted, we just saw Jungler throw his ultimate out, but I'm aching for it. I mean, I want to see if Cherryo and Jungler have this combo that I know they can pull off so easily.
I mean, they must have this combo because they wouldn't be picking this if they didn't. That's the whole idea behind it. It goes back to the London Conspiracy composition we saw at the regional lands.
All right, Axioz. He has no ult. He's dead.
This is how you focus a solo laner and get your laner ahead. Just camp him over and over again.
That's a Robin, man. Like, that's the character you really don't want to see get kills. I mean, even if I was against them, I would rather Chiron be getting these kills than Robin.
That's really confident, though, from leftovers, too, to not worry about the Gold Fury situation there. They had two members back in base at the same time.
By the way, that was a teleport used.
Oh, brutal.
Axioz just came back to that lane, so now he has to walk all the way back. He has boots 3,
waves of experience,
but he's missing the whole wave.
It's 2 waves because he lost the first one when he died and then the second one there as well. So more punishment. You can see Nika getting ahead here. Nika, one of these members that not many people have spoken about before. He's new to the solo lane in terms of this team. This was a
Combine guy, right?
I believe he was in the Combine. Meanwhile, though, in the duo lane, we can see Arkkyl. Arkkyl's been rated as one of the newest hunters on the block that has a lot of potential to him, playing this Chiron now, and Badgah's, quite happily rated him to be able to pick him up as his hunter. I mean, he used to lane with Reels. He must understand good talent if he sees it.
I mean, you can't lane against Reels and not get destroyed and not know what you're doing, right? I mean, plain and simple. The guy bodies professional hunters. Like, if you as an amateur can hold your own against Reels, like, you must know, oh my god!
Yep, that Prana Onslaught did some good deeps, but with Fenrir coming around now, Nika has to run, uses the overhead kick to avoid some damage, but still eats the bludgeon, gets back to a safe area where he doesn't have to worry too much about getting all in.
Now, what he should have done there, Nika didn't notice how much damage he was actually taking from the Brutalize. He should have recognized at level 7 he's not going to have more than 1 or 2 levels in it. He probably should have let that damage go off and waited to see if Bellona was going to try to make a play. Instead, he takes a big chunk of his health as a result of being a little bit overeager.
Talk about making a play. Jungler there, combining with Cherryo, trying to put some aggression onto Athena on the rotation towards mid lane, but nothing happens.
How's his name Jungler?
Like, I don't know.
How was it taken?
I don't know. I think he just asked, is that name free? And someone gave it.
I'm going to go home and take, like...
Solo.
No, that I think is taken, too.
Solo's taken.
I'm going to take mid laner.
Talk about Solo, Baskin.
Yeah, Baskin, for those of you who follow the esports scene, obviously, thanks for watching. Baskin Robbins, or, who was C9 Baskin, finds himself now in a Relegations team, as he'll be teaming up with the leftovers, to my knowledge, replacing Meerkat. That was a good shot.
Cheeky attempt from Cherryo there. Didn't manage to find what he was looking for, but it was shared by 4 members of Epiphany Bolt there. You can see the rotation from Medusa. I don't think they recognize it until a little bit too late, as there comes the Petrify. The all-in damage. The 4 men are surrounding, but they're splitting targets of damage, and Nisha's in the air.
No follow-up, though. Ra had already used it. 1 shot left. Jungler will find the kill. Still alive. And for some reason, Athena's not chasing it, but a good shot from Aiurz. Gonna find the kill.
Aiurz does manage to find as the taunt is used by Panther there. He doesn't find anything, but now with Nika coming in, it's Panther who's in trouble. Has to dash away towards the jungle, but going to be chased down by Nika with the overhead kick to close the gap a little bit more. Can he get in range for the Prana Onslaught? Of course he can. It's Rav.
Prana Onslaught finds himself, or no, another kill for Nika. Yeah, that's actually the move. That's the character now. It's not Ravana. It's just Prana Onslaught.
It's Prana Onslaught. That's what it is.
300 damage, a slow. It activates entirely too quickly. It's just incredibly strong. Nika, I would imagine, is going to opt into Frostbound Hammer as soon as possible. That we have seen Urchin a few times. We've seen Breastplate getting built. I don't think that's a great idea. He goes into Midgardian Mail. Now, this is interesting because this is also going to reduce attack speed. He definitely noticed what I noticed in that they have 3 major auto attackers. The issue is that really only affects 2 of the people on the board right now. He's not taking a lot of auto attacks yet from Sol. That's more of an endgame purpose. He's not really taking a lot of auto attacks from Medusa because it's unlikely he'll be on that side of the map aside from 1 or 2 Gold Fury fights. This should have been the Frostbound Hammer.
But if he goes for Frostbound next, then if he defensively, he can get procs from people hitting him with Midgardian.
Okay.
Offensively, he can get people with the Frostbound Hammer.
Okay, so why not do Midgardian second after the Frostbound?
Maybe he just wants the tankiness.
It's possible.
It could just be tankiness for survival more than anything else.
Maybe he's looking at tower dive. Maybe he's going to rely on the Nasha to go in, and he's going to take more tower shots. Because that's the only thing I can see here is that he wants to take the map too.
Well, Doom mobs are stacking for the mid laners here. Sol at 19 stacks right now. Cherryo just behind him at 17 on the Ra. They will be finished relatively soon in terms of full stacking as long as neither of them die. But a Gold Fury being set up for here with the Sentry Wall being cleared by Jungler and Badgah in tow.
That was actually 2 sentries that were just taken out. 100 gold earned and about 240 gold taken off the map for Epiphany Bolt.
And if you think about it, it's 20 gold difference. That's it. You get 50 gold for each one of those, and you only spent 20 gold on a Sentry Ward. Not bad.
Answered back, flung back as well. Decent damage off the Stellar Burst. Aiurz doing some damage.
But slow.
Badgah trying to find something here. Oh no, he was facing the wrong way!
Oh, you don't want to face that way. 1-for-1 trade happens. Luckily, Arkkyl turns around the kill on DeathPanter. Meanwhile, the rotation from Nika is here. The flip is on to Sol. Sol's in a world of hurt, tries to return damage. Will fall down to the Prana Onslaught once more as Badgah peels away the remaining 2 members, but it looks like Nika's still going in.
I'll miss you, Fenrir. I will. I will miss you entirely.
Another member die.
Prana Onslaught, the character, finds another kill.
3-for-1. And now a tier 1 tower. Badgah missing the charge prey, but forcing the Medusa away for now. Means the tier 1 tower will fall down for the first objective of the game. Athena coming back up, but I don't think this is a good idea.
Axioz still has his ult. He's going to have to get out here, but check it out. Nika already got to go, but no. DeathPanter going to be able to find a good taunt. He's not in a great position here. He dashes back towards... Oh, I don't know.
He gets out just in time. There was no follow-up CC on, luckily enough, just to get him back to the tower range, but a lot of poke for that ultimate all the way in. They still lose the tower. They don't find a kill, and now the Gold Fury is available.
There's no ultimate on the board except for Nasha right now. I would assume Cherryo's pretty close. Can we actually check in with Ra to see how long it will be until his ultimate is available?
It must be available very soon. 14 seconds. He's on zone duty right now as Nika now turns up and says, nope, that's my job. Prana Onslaught eventually.
Stellar Burst? No.
Leftovers get the Gold Fury, but the fight is still on as Nika is chasing down with the overhead kick here. Medusa forced to lacerate away for now as Bellona comes back in looking to try and return some damage, but Leftovers don't hang around.
Top player damage obviously belongs... Oh, Lord.
It was more coverage for that. Cherryo may get a little bit caught out of position here, but the mobility from his passive will just keep him out of reach.
He has had incredible uptime on the movement speed passive.
Constantly keeping it up. He's a little bit low on mana here, so got to watch his position. If Panther goes in for a taunt like that, immediately he purifies it away, though, and they go on Panther, who's taken tower aggro here as well. Bellona doing a good job of tanking the tower shots to try and keep him alive, but no, Ra will get the kill.
Nika now activating Sprint, gets some slows activated. I don't see her getting away from this one. Not really sure why he chose to ult. That might have been the throw, and picked up. Yeah, she's going to be safe.
Trying to return some damage back onto Nika, but he doesn't really care. The Midgardian Mail really helping out there against the damage coming out from Medusa as Sol limps back to base, and the boys of Leftovers, they're looking to try and push mid a little bit more here, but I think it's a little bit too early for a tier 2.
I wonder what the conversation was for Epiphany Bolt and Picks and Bans. Like, remember that time we won with Ravana? Do you think they could do that too?
No, of course they can't.
All right, let's just let them through. We'll just ban something else.
Red buff taken away there by Leftovers. Won't be picked up, but it will be secured, and the golden experience will go in their pocket to combine with the lead they already have. Gold lead at the moment. We're looking at about 5,000 at the moment. Sorry, 4,000, I should say. An experience at just 8,000 experience at 8 minutes?
Nope, 11 minutes.
Oh, sorry, I got excited. I got over it. I saw the 8 at the top, and I was like, 8 minutes at 8,000? Still, 11 minutes and it's 8,000? That's insane.
And there's a 4-level difference between the solo laners. 4 levels at 11 minutes.
And that's what happens when you camp for your solo laner.
Uh-oh. No, that... I mean, he had to do it, or he would have died. He still might die!
Nope, doesn't manage to find the third shot at Arkkyl. Arkkyl may get hit by the taunt now, which he does. And there, with the aggression coming out from Bellona as well, trying to secure this. But Badgah, using Lurk in the waters for zone, even happy to burst down and return some damage back on. And Bellona has to limp away.
I mean, even with Fenrir walking over, they're not noticing the fact that Ravana doesn't care. He's just going to start pushing towers down. This is more gold and experience that's global that Epiphany Bolt can't really afford to let go.
Surprised somebody rotated over here to cover the lane, and instead Nika should be able to get this before Sol can even reach the lane. Tier 1 tower falls on the right side, the second tier tower to fall down this game.
Wow.
825 gold a minute.
It's getting worse.
Experience. 825 experience a minute.
Almost 200 ahead of the next person, which would be Jungler, who's already going into more damage. You see crit online. Can we see gold in hand, please, for Jungler? He's looking for 1,700. He's close to the bottom here at about 462, so he needs about 1,220 more gold to get that Deathbringer online. But when he does, if he hits an ultimate, that person's going to die when they hit the ground.
Check out the supports as well. You can see the difference in builds here. DeathPanter on the Athena. He's gone for the cooldown reduction build with breastplate and shoes of focus. Meanwhile, Badgah going for the hide of the urchin here. Get those stacks online as quick as possible. And looks like Midgardian's probably going to be the next go-to.
Wow. I knew this was going to be one-sided here, but so far Leftovers have proven that they are definitely ahead of the curve. I mean, perhaps a lot of that has to do with Ravana, though, and this is maybe not a fair shake for Nika. We don't know this player. This is not someone we've been able to cast on a professional or even majorly amateur, semi-professional level before. His first showing on stream winds up being the literal best character in the game.
You're not going to get upset about that, though, are you? Hey, guys, I'm on stream for the first time. Come tune in and watch me play Ravana.
And it's weird because look at this build. He's gone into cooldown reduction with Chotins. Is he that far ahead? I mean, is he focusing that much on Prana Onslaught instead of auto attacks that he's going to get away with this?
Well, they've got to run from him anyway, right? That's the big key here. They've got to run. He's still got a root in his kit that everyone underestimates because it heals as well. So he can keep continuing to put the pressure on without needing just yet, especially when he's got Sprint now added to that.
I would imagine whatever is next, either Frostbound Hammer or some type of cloak, whether it's Hide of the Urchin or I would think Mantle of Discord is probably his best bet.
I like what Nika's doing here, though. They've made a good rotation Leftovers to bring Nika over and send Jungler over to the right-hand lane to soak the experience and bring those levels to the advantage of Leftovers.
So Cherryo throws out another raw ultimate that even if it hit, wouldn't have resulted in any follow-up. I want to see him save this, work with Jungler.
Good pluck coming out as the taunt hits onto Badgah, but it looks like they may be able to find the pick onto Bellona there.
He's got him.
Under the tower will secure the cover. No, it'll be Arkkyl and Badgah being aggressive by the brutalizing the backside, being chased down, will get hit by that Ragnarok as well. He does fall. No, he doesn't. It's Silence that falls. Badgah gets out.
A three-man stun into a three-man taunt still winds up offering nothing. All five still alive. Medusa trying to make something happen here, and he's still alive. Jungler winds up getting out of there. They get 0 for 5. Leftovers now work their way back towards the Gold Fury, and we're getting closer for the members of Epiphany Bolt to be hitting that F6.
Honestly, we jokingly said when Ravana got licked in DM at the beginning of this game, GG, well played Leftovers, game 1, but 15 minutes in, it's looking that way already.
I mean, and there should be an unwritten rule that, like, no matter the health, you don't bring the Sobek into the team, man. You don't bring, I mean, if he's going to die, if it's a guaranteed kill, but Badgah just landed and then dashed out, baited 2 people.
You said at the start of the game that where's Fenrir going to go after? I said Sobek because he's the easiest one to probably get before the ultimate. So he's going on him. And it's not working out.
So it's going to be a Wing Blade for Ravana. I think this is a good pickup. Movement speed, very, very important. Slow immunity as well, even though he already has Sprint. Final item available. I think he's going to forego the Frostbound Hammer, go right into Stone Cutting Sword.
The one thing I will say about the meta right now, though, Diem, is the fact that it's much more fast-paced. We're seeing a lot more kills early on. We're not seeing these farm situations. It's 13 to 3 at 16 minutes. And this is EU that everyone always complains about being slow.
You know, people are out there probably like, oh, it's so snowbally. Like, no, this is Ravana.
It's a kill a minute.
This is what Ravana does.
This is what happens, especially if your jungler comes over and babysits for the first couple of levels. It can really help you out.
So he's backing. That should result. Oh, okay. Should result in the Wing Blade being finished. Yes, there it is.
You just lost cooldown reduction for that, you know.
No, we took that out.
No, it's not in this patch, is it? It's the next patch.
No. Oh, yeah, that's the Rising. Yeah, he lost 7%.
Just lost cooldown reduction. Bad decision making there. He may have lost a creep as well. A little bit of gold down. Fenrir, though, under pressure is getting chased down by Badgah with a lurk in the waters. Not enough damage, though, for Badgah to find the kill. But here comes Nika once again, looking for the ult. Does not find it on a single target. But the onslaught will still manage to find it. Roots out the soul to get away. Curse is applied, though, and they're still trying to chase. But guess what? There's a Ra and Badgah waiting in the wings to support.
There's just like a sinking feeling, I bet, in the stomachs of Epiphany Bolt, as they almost got a piece of Ravana there, and then he's sitting in a raw heal as they're trying to chase, and they're just like, guys, we got to back up.
I'm definitely not sad for Epiphany Bolt, though. To reach the finals in this first week is a good situation. The blink pull does not connect there. The taunt connected instead from Panther, but Badgah doing what he needs to do, and that's just zone the team away so they can get tier 2.
And the tier 2 will fall. Another 1,500 gold added to the coffers. Leftovers 10,000 gold in the lead, and that's usually we'll restart calling the serious GG.
So, game 2.
Okay.
What'd you do different?
Ban Ravana.
Game 2. What else do you do different? Ban Ravan.
Let's start there.
Just start there first.
Just start there.
I can agree with that one. I think that was the biggest issue I see with this roster. The Fenrir pick seemed a bit suspect.
Yeah.
I want to say as well, because who was he really going to go after on this composition?
Yeah, you know, I
wasn't
said
even
that from the
locked in by
beginning.
that
Like,
point.
why pick this character? I mean, where is Kali?
Kali's not been seen over in EU today, I want to say. I've not seen her in any of the games that I've understood went on, so no Kali, no Vamana,
Right.
no Kronos.
Right. All right, Medusa finding another kill. Jungler
dead.
going to get picked off immediately, but they trade out for iSilenced. A 1-for-1 so far as an aggressive Bellona fights to the backline.
Trying to fight to the backline, but so is Nika at the moment, keeping them all busy as Arkkyl does take out Bellona. The fight is still raging on. Soul's got some very good damage off there as well in the mid lane, but the sustain from Cherryo is paying off. Cherryo still full health, and Panther will fall on the back trying to escape. Nika did what you saw actually out of Epiphany Bolt there was they ignored Nika completely to try and pick off the other targets, knowing there'll be more suspect to dying.
A Stellar Burst slow activates. Medusa getting flung back, forced to beats, but takes the Piranha Onslaught from the back. Badgah finds the kill, as it seems like Soul alone trying to keep them off the Phoenix. She will, and we do get a respawn from Fenrir as well. They're probably going to have to back off here. Gold Fury not up, but Fire Giant still available, and a Tier 2 does fall, extending the lead once again for Leftovers to well over 12,000.
Just putting the pressure on even further. 21,000 experience now at 18 minutes in. That's over 1,000 experience a minute advantage.
And with no level 20s.
No level 20s in the game, which shows that that's going everywhere too.
This might be the biggest experience lead we will see during relegations.
This all started from the beginning of the game. Ravan going off, getting huge. The rotations from jungler really paid off.
But it wasn't even their first blood. It was Epiphany Bolt's first blood, killing Badgah.
Yeah, and from there he's just gone the complete opposite direction. Gold Fury's going the way of Leftovers as well.
Wow. Jungler Malice and Titan's Bane online. Decent damage across the board. Nika accidentally pulls the Fire Giant and then loses, as a result, her Sentry Ward.
5-level difference between Nika and the Bellona over in the solo lane too. Badgah looks for the pluck. He finds a minion.
Okay, good ring though. iSilenced actually taking a lot of damage, only level 13, another 5-level difference between the junglers. We got a 2-level difference between the mid laners, 3 levels between the supports, and another 5 levels between the hunters.
I am still surprised, Nika. Oh, there's the snipe combo coming out, but it wasn't the combo we expected as iSilenced gets deleted. Arkkyl picks it up, and now they're looking for more in the jungle as well. Bellona out of position here. Caught out, has the Eagles rally to get defensively back to the tower, but can he survive under the tower? No, because Nika's going to keep chasing.
I mean, he's not even deterred. And a beautiful raw ult coming out from jungler. Is it enough for the kill?
Yes.
No, Cherryo, though, will find it with the beam.
Now they're going to look for that Tier 2 tower as well. Probably head back towards the Fire Giant. We will get a surrender, and I think that is the correct call.
I mean, at that point, you're just frustrating yourself. It's 20-4. It wasn't happening.
Reset, go back to base, go, okay, let's go game 2. We know the mistakes we made. That's the big difference there.
I mean, Ravan has to be banned. Fenrir, if you're going to pick him, I mean...
Situational. He's situational right now. I think against the composition he was against, they didn't even have the Raw yet, and they still went with the Fenrir.
Strange.
I mean, can understand it into a Raw, it could work.
But it was a clean win for Leftovers, and this
Very
is a
clean.
squad that is aiming not only towards relegating themselves into the Smite Pro League, but to do well in it. Unfortunately, not a great start for them. Badgah getting caught out of position. He gets hit. That was the first, I think, of 2 times that he was actually stunned out by the Medusa.
And that's some of the happiness that I can see out of not Leftovers, from Epiphany here, is that for a team that you don't really recognize that much, they used to be known as Wasted Talent. I would see 1 or 2 of the members used to be on Wasted Talent. They've got the experience. They've been around for a long time. And those early rotations really paid off and got them the first blood.
It was good.
But there was rotations on the other side that paid off more valuable.
But what happened on the other side of the map, like you said, was Nika.
Ravan.
Player of the game. Ravan gets picked again. We don't know how. And he does what Ravan does, and that's just lay waste. Even here, he chases it using the overhead smash, or the overhead kick, not only to apply the bluestone, but to increase his movement speed as well. And here's him fighting a 3-level difference, and Fenrir goes right for the soul.
When you actually watch this back and you see him beat down these people, he has got a level lead here. There's just been established so big that he can dive like this, look for the aggression, quite happy to tank it up, and pick up kills every single time. They're just too low level to fight him.
And here's another one. A little bit late on that kick, but he dives right to the back line. Fenrir tries to juke, but he kills him with the Piranha Onslaught. Still has the root, gets activated onto Soul, but he notices she's going to go into the corporeal form, so he baits out immediately, forcing them into the choke point and allowing the Tier 2 to go down.
Puts him in a great position. Leftovers now take a 1-game lead. Will they take game 2 is the question, or will Ravan get through? Because that's the big difference between the two.
Yeah, that's true. Things could change here. We've seen crazier things happen. We're going to cut to a quick break. We'll be back with game 2 in just a minute. Stick around.